Something strange happens in Arc Raiders fights, especially up close. It's like the squad that wins is the one that forces the first mistake, and there's a reason for that. Arc Raiders is a third-person shooter, and the camera in a third-person shooter is like an invisible warden, a weapon that every single player has, but no one actually sees. It watches angles you can't, gathers information you'd normally risk your life for, and most importantly, it punishes the first player that forgets it. We've all had those fights on Stella Montis where you push a doorway and you just get evaporated. And it seems like you have no time to react, no counterplay, and you just get deleted. And it's not that you have bad aim or that you're lagging. It isn't even really about your skill. It's just that invisible warden doing the killing. And until you learn how to control it, close range fights will always feel unfair. But that's what we're here for. Let's break down exactly how this works so that you can stop feeding these kills and actually start winning these fights. In Arc Raiders, the deadliest thing in a close range fight isn't your gun. It's actually your camera. Your camera is basically a shoulder-mounted scout. It sees around corners before your hitbox is revealed. It gives you free information without committing. It holds angles for you, and it warns you the moment someone starts pushing. Meanwhile, the person who is attacking, they get none of that. When they push, they have to expose their entire body just to get the information you get for free just by having good positioning. This is exactly why the first mistake decides everything, especially in these third-person shooters. The warden is always watching, and the problem is you don't know when it is. So the moment someone over peeks, swings wide, or forgets about the angle, you get punished instantly. Let's talk about one of the most popular ways to die to this, the doorway push. Here's the reality of when you push a doorway in third person. The defender will always see you first. Their camera will always have the angle on you, and they do it from complete safety. Not only that, the worst part is probably that they get to pre-aim you in most cases, as long as they know what they're doing. And sure, you could try to dodge roll or something, or predict it when they're gonna peek, but that's just not reliable. And a dodge roll in this game doesn't really give you that much of an advantage. You're basically in a situation where you have to go ahead and tank the first couple shots before you can even react to do anything. And especially when you're dealing with a whole squad, if they're coordinated, you're gonna get one shot there. You won't even have time to react. And once it's a 2v3 or a 1v2, you've pretty much lost the fight unless your teammates pull something ridiculous. It happens, but it's not something you can rely on. And again, I want to let you guys know this is not a skill issue. This is just a third-person geometry issue. You're fighting the player and the camera and the bad angle, so you pretty much lose that fight before it even begins. And the thing is, if you come from Apex, Battlefield, Call of Duty, or any other first-person game, you're kind of used to a fair peeker's advantage. When both players peek, both players get info at the same time. Sure, you can pre-aim based on where you think they are, but where you think they are isn't the same as where you know they are. And that's why people who hold the defensive angle in Arc Raiders are so much stronger than people who are attacking. They're just getting perfect information thanks to the camera. So your FPS instincts, which are probably really good, are telling you, hey, I can push this angle, they might be low. But unless you have that warden in mind, Arc Raiders kind of reminds you, no, you can't push this, bro. This is also another reason why people new to third persons feel like people in Arc Raiders are suspiciously good. And while they might have better aim based on what the game's doing, a lot of them don't realize that the camera's doing a lot of heavy lifting for them. Okay, so now you guys fully understand the problem. How do we beat this? Here is the exact order of operations you should follow to win these close quarter fights on Stella Montis and really just anywhere that has close range. To be honest, a lot of this works for mid and long range too, but you'll feel it a lot more in the close range because of how the camera works. Number one, and probably the most important one, do not fight if the enemy has cover and you don't. If they're in a doorway, do not fight. If they're above you, probably don't fight. Just walk away, reset, and start fresh. Retreating is step one of outplaying these people. And you don't have to go away. There's plenty of flanks in this game. Sometimes there are rooms and places where there's only one way through, but for the most part, you can find a flank, especially on Stella Montis. Peek with your camera first and not your body. The camera is your scout. I'm not sure what the control is on console, but on PC, if you press X, you can switch your camera to go left to right shoulder. This is basically mandatory to learn how to do. If you're not doing this, you're probably having a rough time on either the left side or the right side, depending on which side your camera defaults. Rebind it if you have to. X works for me, but it's pretty important that you have this locked down because this is how you're getting all of your information. Use your grenades to force people to move. Grenades deal damage, but I wouldn't say that's their primary purpose, especially when you're fighting a squad of people. They are a displacement tool. Especially in a third-person game, this is incredibly important, because if you can force them away from the angle, that lets you push up and actually grab the angle yourself, and now the roles are reversed. Now you have the optimal camera angle. So when you do throw a grenade, you should be pushing almost immediately, because then you'll either catch them on the run, or you'll catch them while they've taken like half their health and damage, or they'll push you and break their defender's advantage. And once you have the advantage, that's when you hold your angle calmly, stay patient, and wait for them to get impatient. More than likely, they will ego challenge you, try to push, and just die. So why does Stella Montis make this third-person camera a lot worse feeling for a lot of people? The biggest culprit is probably the doorways, but narrow hallways, corridors, pretty much give whoever is behind the doorway the ultimate advantage. Not to mention, it's so close range that people are using shotguns, and if you get a free shotgun shot off on someone who's coming up to you close range, you pretty much win that fight instantly. And for people who haven't really mastered switching the shoulder that your camera's on, a frantic fight can leave you in a situation where you have a third-person camera, but it's just not in the right place to give you information. And this can happen to anyone, so if it happens to you, don't feel bad. It's just a practice thing at the end of the day. I'll just show you guys a quick little training drill you can do in the practice range, mostly to help your camera work and make it so that when you're in a fight, you don't panic and your camera is always perfectly giving you the information you need. I promise you will be running circles around people at close range if you just do some of this every day. And you don't even have to do it in the practice range. It's just a stress-free place to do it. The first drill is really easy. It's just for camera work. When you turn right, switch your camera to your left shoulder, and when you turn left, switch your camera to your right shoulder. And the reason we're doing this is so that you can get a better feel for checking left and right out of a door without revealing your character. It's really useful for when you're about to leave the doorway of a house, because then you can check your entire environment before you go out. And without this, you will basically not be able to check either your left or your right side, depending on which side your camera is on. Honestly, the second drill is really easy too. Just use your camera, stand close next to some cover, pre-aim at something in the distance, and peek out and shoot, and then go back in instantly. You can shoot a couple times, you can crouch afterward when you're peeking, but you're basically practicing not shooting the wall and pre-aiming from cover. You want to swap the camera shoulder and do it on the other side as well. And as a bonus drill, when you're walking through buildings in general, make sure you're swapping your camera to the correct side so you can get a preview of every room before you actually go in it. And I promise, this sounds complicated, but it will become second nature and you're basically going to be unstoppable. So yes, close range fights in Arc Raiders are brutal, but I think that once you get the camera work down, you'll get way better instincts on when to push and when to back off, and you'll just stop giving away free kills, and you'll start forcing mistakes instead of making them. Use your camera, use your angles, and use your patience. If this video helped you out, hit the like button, and if you want to see content like this in the future, make sure to subscribe. What situation do you guys think that I should break down next? Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.